I think this time it's all about the trade and the trade disruption and the risks which are coming around with the the divergence in trade policies of the various countries. For a very long time, the world was moving towards a global trade where markets would remain open and people could trade freely between countries. And the whole world was the WTO, and all of the world was pushing towards that paradigm or that world order. I think that has now completely got disrupted, and every countries are moving much more into bilateral arrangements, which is why we are seeing so many of the free trade agreements or the trade agreements. And obviously, America is playing a very major role in reshaping the whole trade order. And I think one of the other reasons it's developing this way is because people had begun, especially in the West, people had started to lose a lot of jobs, especially, and they started to lose their manufacturing base. And then I think there is a realization that that is not something which they can afford to completely lose. And therefore the need to maintain manufacturing, maintain the jobs within the country at the cost of just importing everything from the cheapest source. So I think that's the dichotomy taking place in the West. They want to retain manufacturing, they want to retain their jobs, but at the same time they want to have a open border policy.
To what
and the two don't. They can't go together because principally cost of manufacturing in Europe or the US is more than the cost of manufacturing in India or China or or the Middle East for that matter. And so principally, if you want to retain your manufacturing base, you have to provide some level of protection, whether that's in the form of import duty or trade barrier, or there are many ways to do it. But at the end of the day, if they have to retain manufacturing in many sectors where it's cheaper to do elsewhere, then there will have to be some level of protection in one form or the other.
Do you see them succeeding, and if so, to what extent?
I mean, we are big investors in the US, we are big investors in the UK. It's a huge battle internally, but I think the choice is clear. If they want to retain their manufacturing base, then they will have to provide a certain level of I won't say protection, but a certain compensation one way or the other against cheaper imports. And ultimately, I think the battle for keeping manufacturing within the country will win.